Alrighty, hello everyone, welcome to Sinful Gaming. Hope you're all doing well, hope everyone's staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. We're continuing on painting up the Necrons, and hopefully, once I get the wash done on these finally, we're going to be able to build those Knights from Conquest, which I'm really keen to get done, so. And our last base coat before wash. So just painting all the cabling on all the Necrons. If you're joining us, let us know or what hobby you've been working on lately. I'd love to hear from everyone. Mr. Molly Mellow, yeah, it is always good to see that finish line. At least the base coats and the washes. Right. We'll go back and we'll highlight them after. But this at least is going to get the army tabletop ready. Painting a Bunny's word bearers, nice. Do have some more 40k to paint after this. We get the Necrons done, and then it is on to painting up some Craftworld Elder and the rest of my Empress Spears Space Marines. We'll see where we go with 40k from there. There goes a decent start on the channel. I've also got like the start of a Harlequin force as well, which would be fun. I've got like a couple of troop boxes and then the characters and stuff for it, so definitely get some Harlequins happening soon. So yeah, it's been a productive morning. Well, I've been doing some other, like, got all the black done on everyone, got the gold done on the heroes that need it. Nice to be working on some Oryx next. I would like to get some 40k Oryx, but they are way down the pecking order. I've got plenty of other things that need to get done. So at the moment, like, it's these Necrons, it's getting all my 40k armies ready, so we've got a decent variety to put up on the channel. And I've got the Conquest armies to get. And then I've got, Conquest. I've got a box for Elder Scrolls that I want to paint up, so... And then some Warhammer Fantasy stuff as well. So we will be getting on the paint and really buckling down. Yeah, I got the Followers Adventurers pack. The one with like Mjol, the Lioness, and Decius and all that in it. It's not the non-named one. The one with the named heroes in it is the one I've got. Kyle Hall, love your videos and your battle reports to help me get into AOS and Stormcast. Awesome, man. I'm glad they've helped. Also, while we're here as well, don't forget, if you are watching, show something. Oh, someone is at my door. I will be back in a second. Sorry about that, everyone. That was the postie dropping off some stuff. Unfortunately, not for me. Just a postie dropping off some models. Not models, some stuff for the wife. Yeah, stuff for our baking business. And now I can just hear the doggo going off. Yeah, we run a little sugar cookie business on the side as well, me and the wife. It's pretty fun. Yeah, so we make like sugar cookies and stuff on the side, which is pretty fun. But yeah, so where were we? What we were talking about? Yeah, like projects I got to finish. Yeah, I've got that Elder Scrolls box set. I've got Warhammer Fantasy Armies I want to get done because we want to get fantasy on the channel. And sort of prep for like Old World to come out. I'd like to have like a fantasy sort of scene on the channel. Would be nice to be able to straight away move into be playing Old World, which would be great. Yeah, some Conquest stuff. And Elder Scrolls, as mentioned, I've got a box set of that I want to get paint up. And yeah, and there's always Age of Sigmar and Warcraft stuff to paint up. So with the day job finally settling down a little bit, I can get back to doing stuff. Now what I was going to show people is if you're one of our YouTube members in the chat, you can get these cool little emojis to use. And there'll be some more coming as we get more YouTube members. We're allowed to have more emojis, so I'll be getting some more commissioned as we get more YouTube members. So be able to use them in all our cool little chats. You'll be able to use them when you're commenting, and you also get a cool little badge when you're a YouTube member as well. For anyone who would like to help support the channel in another way, is greatly appreciated. Allows us to keep doing what we're doing. And so does people just watching here. If you are, drop us a like while you're watching, because it helps people find the channel while we're live. So drop us a like. David Jones, hello. Every like helps. Thank you very much, David. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, hobby is about to try and go into overdrive, just getting the painting done that needs to get done. GoTrack is not here today. He doesn't do the hobby hangouts with me. He's we'll have him back very soon. This is just a little hangout and paint. I am most certainly not Felix. But yeah, I was rummaging around in the room and managed to find a couple of like Warhammer Fantasy armies. So we've got dwarves, wood elves, and Empire. I found a whole like Empire Knight army in my cupboard, so we'll have an Empire army. Like we still don't know about Felix, sorry. And not everyone is coming back, so we don't know. Like he may just be one of the ones that is dead. I mean, I think that's one of the interesting things is like GoTrek realizes like he abandoned him in the end times. I mean, if he is a Stormcast, he is most certainly from the Anvils of the Heldenhammer. So it'd be interesting to sort of see. Definitely. I mean, we know Snitch died. I doubt we're going to see many of the Skaven characters back because most of them did actually have deaths. And I am massively into all the lore for most of the games, actually. Like for me, lore, like the narrative, is a big reason why I get into a game. A game that doesn't have a strong narrative is unlikely to pull me in. A big reason I'm a fan of things like Elder Scrolls because I really like the Elder Scrolls like story. Reason why I'm enjoying Conquest so much is because I think the narrative for Conquest is amazing. Why I enjoy Age of Sigmar, it's why I enjoy 40k. Norska, so many of the Norskans like just ended up I believe no. I'm pretty sure Snitch gets killed in the end. Because he kills the High King of the Dwarves and then gets killed on the escape. I think. Or is that Queek I'm thinking of that gets killed? You might be wrong. I might be wrong on that one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Snitch like kills the Dwarven King and then gets killed by like Bugman or someone like that in the like throne room as he tries to escape. He gets the king and then someone like Bugman or someone like that gets him. Yeah, Queek gets killed by the king in Carriers of Carrick, but then and because all of them sort of lose, everyone loses in Carrick of Carrick. Everyone loses in that because Skarsnik doesn't die, but Gobbler dies, and Skarsnik's sort of like all depressed and mopey, and it's really sad. I think that is one of the saddest ones. Is Gobbler dying, and then poor Skarsnik is left by his lonesome is horrible. It's not Belagar. Belagar is out and about. It's really sad. It's like I'm like I really liked it, like the story, sort of like no, it's like evil because goblins aren't nice. They're malicious, they're evil, they're like deceitful. But this one goblin holds one thing dear to him, which is his squig that he's had forever, and it's really weird to see a squig that's so loyal to something that's not just like literally the teeth on legs, the Carrot Squig. Gobbler's like pretty well trained, like he's a loyal companion to Skarsnik. It's not. It's like telling your family dog dies. That's the story. It essentially is. It was a really nice like little story. I'm like, this is cool. Like it's actually showing. For Orcs and Goblins were generally a joke race for a lot of Warhammer Fantasy, without a doubt. And Skarsnik and Gobbler, and especially Gobbler's death, really showed like there can be more to it. Like a joke race essentially can have these sort of emotional moments, which was nice. I really enjoyed it. Like that was one of the better ones. I am no hater on the end times. I actually enjoyed the end times quite a bit. I mean, well, the stuff out of Albion, like this is what the old world is set to do. I think if the old world is to succeed, it can't just be Warhammer Fantasy again, because we know that story. We've been told that story. They've immediately set it in a different time period. I think we can skip the game around in different time periods to show off different stuff to continue to have the game have a lasting legacy, and not just be a flash in the pan. So I think like exploring places like Albion and going back and really delving into the lore of like Albion, checking out Nippon, and well, we've seen Cathay now shown and Kislev shown like never before. I don't know. I like the story of Malekith was the true king. Like he just wasn't worthy when he tried the first time because he did it in bad ways. And in the end, like Malekith could never truly get rid of his evil ways. Well, yeah, he never really was at the end, like, because in the end, he was found unworthy in the end. Eventually, yeah, Malarian is Malachus. He's just changed and twisted with that shadowy spirit, which says a lot about him. Like, unlike say Alariel and Tyrion and Teclis, who came out the other side pretty similar. Malachus changed. Like, obviously Marathi changed, but that wasn't by her own design. She changed because she was corrupted by being inside Solanish's belly. But like Malachus changed on his own. His form changed, his whole essence changed, just like, which is the interesting part, I think, of the story here. I would assume so. Like, it's really hard, like, because obviously it's like they did make a lot of sense of like that he himself has changed. Malachus is no longer there, and he's turned into the being Malarian. I mean, and you can probably say that, like, yeah, they changed the name from Malachus because, well, Malachus is straight out copying Norse mythology. I think everything's trying to do that nowadays. Every game is trying to make their own thing. Yeah, Malice is definitely one of the characters I could see returning. From Dark Elves. We know characters like most of the ones are probably sided. I mean, we know the only incarnate we don't have back is Fire, so like Cara Dryne could certainly be. Yeah, cool, Domi. I'll have to look into that, but yeah, we know like Cara Dryne is dead, but like because he gets killed by Kaon. Cara Dryne gets killed by Kaon and so does Grimgor in the end times. But like Grimgor obviously comes back as Gorka Morka, and which is interesting. It's like, does Cara Dryne come back? AOS lore has come a huge, huge way. Cool. Yeah. Maybe Snitch did survive. Be cool if he like did. I mean, Skaven already have Thankwell. They don't need another sort of major player, but it would be cool to see him. But yeah, I'll be really keen to see what they do with Old World. I'm really excited for it. So we're going to start getting some armies done for the channel for fantasy. We'll be playing 8th edition because everything they've said about Old World is they're going to like it's the successor to 8th. So we're going to play 8th on the channel, which is pretty cool. I managed to find like even my Storm and Magic. I haven't been buying. I just still have. So because I have like a massive Wanderers army. So I have Wanderers are Wood Elves in Age of Sigmar. I have a massive Wanderers army, and so that included like my Wildwood Rangers, some of my Eternal Guard, some Wild Riders, and stuff like that. And stuff that carried over to Age of Sigmar, but then I've still got like all my Glade Guard, my Glade Riders, like my War Dancers, Way Watchers, Warhawk Riders, all the old characters, and all that sort of stuff that's been removed from Age of Sigmar. So I've still got enough there, plus like some other stuff, which is pretty cool. So, like, I've still got like a giant Wood Elf army, so I'm going to be putting that into fantasy. I managed to find a whole Empire Knight army. Dan the Gamer Can't. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. And so, like, I've got all these Wood Elves already there. Yeah, I've still got I've taken some of my Dark Elves over, but I've still got plenty of Dark Elves. Like I've got I think 6 bolt throwers for Dark Elves. I've still got some other troops, and it's like not hard to go get the Dark Elf troops because they're all still available. So I could easily build up a Dark Elf army for fantasy as well. And yeah, I've got a whole Dwarf army sitting there because a bunch of the Dwarves got removed in Age of Sigmar. As latest cities of Sigmar, so I've got miners and longbeards, miners and some warriors and all that sort of stuff, and all the artillery pieces, so I can have a dwarf army. So we've got a few armies that we can get up and running for the channel, which is great. I mean, to be fair, my Scourge Privateer army is not from fantasy. I don't have much Dark Elves from fantasy. What else are from Age of Sigmar? I don't think there'll be too many Bretonnian. Like there'll be as many Bretonnian players as there used to be, but they won't be an army that everyone goes out and gets. They never were that popular. Like it's horrible to say, but Britannia was discontinued for a reason. Same with Tomb Kings. Like I'd say Tomb Kings are more popular than Britannia were, and Tomb Kings were not popular. Their last book absolutely bombed in fantasy. If Tomb Kings finally got this massive update and no one cared. Which is they've said it's going back to square bases, Domir. They actually confirmed it. It was going back to full squares. Which I'm a little bit disappointed by. Oh, look, I love Bretonians, but they were not popular. They just back in the day, so we had like a massive community. We had one Bretonian player in like about 50 people that were our regulars at GW. In Adelaide, we had one Bretonian player. We had one Tomb King player as well. In fact, there were, and like even Wood Elves were not popular. Wood Elves had one. I was like the only Wood Elf player I knew. It is a big waste, but I can see where GW is coming from, Domi, in that they want you to buy models for both games. Fair. Only one I can remember was my mate Matt playing Bretonians. But yeah, I'm going to go with that, Domi, in that they want you to buy models for both games. Is the reason why they're not going for, which would have been a good move. Bretonian look great. They just, I think when people look at that, they are generic. Like Bretonian are like as much as you go, look all the. Yeah, and that's a big reason, Domi. They're trying to bring back people with the old armies in there as well. So quite a few of my mates have like Lisman and Seraphon. Like none of them just brought them to the event the other weekend. When it comes to meta over here, though, you got to remember that it's a little bit of an oddball here in Australia because Warhammer is. I wouldn't say Bud play like Bud might have owned Britannia, but he never played them. Bud in fantasy, totally reminds me is. Matt Weiss. Not Matt Weiss. Matt Debut. Weiss was Beastman and Empire. Pricing certainly is in effect. I would say a massive reason why Daughters of Cain in fantasy in Age of Sigma never became took everywhere is because it was $84 for 10 witch elves back when they were top. That being said, I think there's multiple things when meta. Like Australia, it's a lot harder because everything's so more expensive. You'll find the people who are much more well off will just go buy the army, but you have that person who collects an army over time won't play it until it's out of meta here because it is so much more expensive. Yeah, when they were top of the meta with those Witch Elf list builds, that was one of 3 units of 30. So you're talking $630 just on your battle line, plus all your other pieces. Plus you're painting very similar models, so it wasn't exactly the most exciting thing to paint. Yeah, there's some major one. I think a big one is at the moment is what was it? Underworlds. I think Underworlds just is going to die because of that price of that new starter box. Like GW never been like GW can always charge more because they are the biggest. I think Underworlds will be in a really bad spot. Everyone I know that plays it in Australia has pretty much just gone nope to that box price. See, look, GW stores are GW stores. I fully expect GW stores to completely abide by only GW models. So that makes perfect sense to me. In a GW store, you should play with GW miniatures. It makes sense. They're trying to sell you their product in their store. That's why you can play games in their store. And I have zero issue with that. That's no different than Macca's wanting you to eat McDonald's in their store. 3D printing is an interesting one because quality of 3D printing certainly varies. While there is many high quality stuff, there is as much bad stuff out there. So in Australia, I think the new one is like, give me a sec, I'll double check. It was not friendly. I've got a number in my head, but I think I'm wrong. I think I'm going too high in the number in my head. $160 for Harrow Deep. To put that into perspective, the previous season was 110, and the season before that was 90. And you get less stuff in Harrow Deep than what you did in the previous sets. Yeah, like I get the GW one only use GW store, and to be honest, like I use only GW miniatures when I play at my local game store, Dragon Slayer, because he only sells GW miniatures. And a big reason I only use GW miniatures is because I'm showing off a game to people. It's a big reason it's hard for me to get into Kings of War, because I'm not the biggest fan of their minis. But for me, like as a channel, if I'm going to show off your game, I want to use the miniatures for your game. Does that make sense? So, like Kings of War, they go on about like, oh, it's really great. They can use all these other miniatures from the other game. Like, that's all well and good, but I want to show off Kings of War minis because it is the easiest way into Kings of War. Like when you see the website and you see Kings of War, you see a Kings of War box of minis. That's what I look at. I don't go looking for, well, what can I use to replace these? As a new player to a game, to wargaming in general, I look at, cool. What's the company that makes Kings of War? I forget their name. They want to sell me these minis and this rule set. This is what Kings of War is selling me. That's what, like, as a new person entirely into the game, that's what you're trying to get into. And it's really hard when, like, I can't get into Kings of War minis. We maybe down the line, but yeah, at the moment, they're definitely down the line. Conquest, I think, has amazing minis. Like, straight away, I look at those minis, I'm like, I want them. I think Kings of War definitely. They would not work. Hades, they are huge. Conquest is 38mm scale. Just warning you, fair on that. They are like the Conquest humans are bigger than like Karak Acolytes. So definitely do not buy that and do not do that. I've played a couple of little scratch games of Conquest. I really enjoy the game. Yeah, AOS are 32. So, like, their humans are, like, a head taller. They probably stand about the same height as, like, Stormcast. Yeah, like, to be fair, it's really cool seeing, like, minis when, like, it's really nice. Yeah, AOS is 30. Yeah, true. They just fit on, like, relatively the same bases. They are nice minis, so there's no reason you couldn't. Just be aware that, like, they will be. Well, another thing with Cities is you got to remember that Cities is not actually 32mm. Cities is 28mm because it's all fantasy models. So everything in Cities is 28mm. So you're replacing, like, the Conquest dudes are probably almost twice the size of a free guild guy. Elder Scrolls is 30, I think. Elder Scrolls, but it's a true 30. While Age of Sigmar is 32mm heroic. Yeah. They'll actually struggle to fit on a 25mm base. The Conquest uses 30mm bases for its models. Fair. Yeah. Just be aware they're different. No. Just letting you know. Maybe if you want to give it a try, buy one box, see how you like it. And if you hate it, I'll buy whatever 100 Kingdoms box you buy off you. Yeah, Elder Scrolls Call to Arms. What I love that game so much. It really is just fun. It feels like I'm playing Skyrim. Exactly what you want from that game. I got like I said, I've got my first set of resin minis. I'm really impressed with them. The Elder Scrolls one is a super fun. From what I know, Elder Scrolls is the better game out of the two, mainly because it has the benefit of being the second game. So it learnt a lot of stuff from the Fallout game and did it better in Elder Scrolls. Yeah. I've got to do something like talking about what's coming next for Elder Scrolls. So I'm not too familiar with the Elder Scrolls stuff on like what the Thane Hold is. At the moment, there's like 3 major factions. So you've got Stormcloaks, Imperials, or 4 major. So you've got Stormcloaks, Imperials, Adventurers, and Assassins. Yeah. There is Dark Brotherhood stuff in there. They're already out. Dark Brotherhood just came out. Yeah, I'm fully into the game. To me, I am Australian, mate. But I also do have insomnia, so both. Both is the answer to that. The game's great. Like, I would strongly recommend. Yeah, I think like two big ones I'd love to see for Elder Scrolls is Thalmor and Forsworn. I would love to see Forsworn. Um, that's it. Like, and like I said this before, like narrative will get me into a game. And Elder Scrolls definitely has the narrative behind it to get me into that game. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't surprise me that like Falmer, they want more non-human, I guess, or non-nord, whatever you want to say, races in there. Thalmor would be great. It's important, like, because the thing at the moment is they've got limited amount of factions. So you've obviously got your Imperials, Stormcloaks, Adventurers, Dark Brotherhood, and you can play. There's downloadable rules for the Jiraga as a faction. Likely won't be Ancient Falmer. I doubt you'll see Snow Elves as a thing anytime soon. Like, never say never. But yeah. What else would be cool? Like, it would have Falmer. Falmer would be really cool, like, as a faction, when you get, like, all the, oh, what are they called? What are the bug creatures they have? Chorus? I believe. Nick's a little bit more turned on with it than I am. I believe. I believe there's downloadable rules to play the Draga as a battle mode faction, correct? Me if I'm wrong, Nick? Yeah, well, they've already spread out once. They've already spread out once. They did the main characters for the Elder Scrolls Online game available. Like, I feel this game could really, like, Elder Scrolls could really explain. It's got a really cool system. It's got a really cool system that uses the same rules for battle and delve mode, so solo play or co-op play and match play. Has the same like rule set. I swear I heard someone say that was like, I'm on Modifius now. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, so Draga Plint and play rules. Let's have a look. Yeah, no, they got hero cards. Yeah, cool. No, the Draga thing was definitely something. I've just pulled them up. Oh, that looks terrible, but yeah, I've literally just pulled up. Cool. Yeah, so they have heroes, which is sweet. That's really cool. No, they're downloadable only. That's what I heard about them. They were downloadable only. So what I heard was correct on them, at least. Yeah. There's a couple of Alpha models down there. What's cool though, like, is you can turn any armor to make it look like you just paint like a non-metallic green, and you got glass armor. I really do like. So you do like a non-metallic, like bright fluorescent green, black fluorescent green, I reckon, and that would give you like the glass armor look. Oh yeah. You would have to like. Don't know if there's any models in the game that have glass armor on them in the miniatures that have just come out that are out. I can't think of any. I know there's a couple in ebony armor. I'd love to see more Daedra as well. We've got the Flame Atronachs, Frost Atronachs, Storm Atronachs would be sweet. Last dude to do all the cabling on, and then we can throw a wash down. Yay! Yeah, what else would be cool? Well, obviously we've got like the Dawn Guard, we got the vampires, we got Thieves Guild, companions, Forsworn, Falmer. What are they called? Is it Silverhand? The werewolf hunters could be cool. I mean, if you're releasing companions, you have to really Silverhand. You have to sort of put the Silverhand next to that, don't you? So normally we get normally each one contains like a couple of. I mean, it'd be cool. I think you can easily turn like Silverhand into like a playable faction as well. Much like they have with the Drogo. I'd love to like organize like competitive play, like battle mode play tournament for Elder Scrolls. Maybe I'll organize one for the channel to show off. For me, like battle mode. Battle mode just feels so different than any other wargame I played. I love how there's random adversaries on the table. So you're not only playing against your opponent, you're playing against the adversaries, and you're trying to like activate your adversaries near your opponent and stuff like that. I think battle mode just has so much to it. I really, really enjoy battle mode. And so many like channels I've watched Elder Scrolls on, battle mode is definitely the one that's not getting shown much. Heaps of people are showing off delve mode. Blades would be sick. I mean, you could definitely do blades in Skyrim. You would have the two characters. I'm all about just trying different things. Drogo, I literally just went to the download section on my Diffus, went to Elder Scrolls, went to downloads, and they were the top thing. I mean, to be fair, Nick, that is 5 factions. That is 6 factions. That is more than Conquest currently has, and Conquest is doing perfectly fine at a tournament level with 5 factions. So you don't need lots of factions to make a good game. Like Elder Scrolls, I think the game is solid. Yeah, I almost think that's more important for Elder Scrolls as a game at a competitive level. Was having plenty of options with those items and spells. If they've got items and spells are so wide that it's really hard. As long as multiple of them are good, because as with anything, like you don't want to see a medalist sort of take dominance of like, oh, I'm going to play Stormcloaks with this, and I'm going to give Yisrael a 2-handed axe. Give me 2 secs. Doggo is barking. What's she barking at? Sorry about that. Doggo was barking at something. Like pick up some snacks while they do. Yeah, as I was saying, I think there already are some of the Daedric artifacts, aren't there? I believe. I'm pretty sure there already are. I think the big thing you need to do for a tournament for Elder Scrolls is it needs to be you need to have like set adversaries. So you're playing like a 100-point game, and the adversaries are the same for every table. That would be the big thing I would look at. Bloody hell. Yeah. Got to chip off these tiny little bits on my Necron Walker. Whoopsie. There's the one thing I think that would have to happen in a match play setting of Elder Scrolls. You just have to have those same adversaries for every table. Yeah. Literally, I would just put, at 200 points, you can literally, or 250, you literally just put that Bleak Fool's Barrow Delve set on every table. Yeah, that was my thought, Walker. Like I would have probably, Corondus, I'm going to say 320 to 350. I don't want to say that, but I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah, and Wolfric Nick, I think you're right on that one. Like, I would have probably Wild, and then probably maybe throw in some Flame Atronachs or something. Daedra. I feel like it's going to be. We've seen everything increase. Don't go by old prices. Oh, he's talking about the Age of Sigmar Dragons coming out. Nick, but yeah. I'll be getting that. I'm gonna organize getting an Elder Scrolls Dragon. I'd love to have one on the channel. Yeah. Hey man, if you ever need anyone to play test against, you're always welcome to come around for some games. Yeah, I really love the model for the Skyrim Dragon. He's amazing. Oh, Demi, I have no doubt he's under an NDA. Yeah. Like, talking about trying to get a playtest, we would have to go through steps, obviously, to do that. I am a playtester myself as well for Age of Sigmar Soulbound as well, so I know all the crap that goes around it. No. But yeah, maybe we'll have to. We'll talk off screen for that. It might be something to have a look into. I have reached out to Modifius to chat about stuff, so he seemed pretty keen to help the channel. I will say, like, dealing with like smaller companies, like smaller, like Modifius, I've dealt with, and Parabellum. It's so much easier to deal with than GW. I love GW, but man, they can make it hard to deal with them sometimes. Yeah, we'll chat about that off screen. I would rather, yeah. But yeah, I'll have a chat to you, man. I know Gavin's liked and commented a lot of my stuff on Facebook and YouTube, so I'm pretty sure he knows who I am. I'm just a man-made hype train. Anyway, back onto subjects. Yeah, Hades, you were talking about. Yeah, from all the interaction I've had with Gavin, he seems like a good dude. I always say that, like, no company has bad dudes to deal with. There may be policies that stop like things happening, but like my conversations with like GW and stuff and all of that have been nothing but positive. Like I get along really well with like Ben Johnson, like people like Wade and all that sort of stuff. Like design team, I chat with a bunch of Black Library authors all the time. Like GW, the employees themselves, I have no problems with. They are fantastic people. The company might not be the best company in the world, but the people that work there are amazing. Which is great. Jeremy, I think you've summed it up. No company is the best company in the world. However, the people working for those companies can make those companies better. And lots of them do. I'm thankful there are many, many good companies around there at the minute. And so we're up to time to try and get some washes down on these Necrons. But now we're just throwing down a wash on these Necrons. Amazing how good your minis look after you just throw a wash on them after putting down base coats. Especially when it's like metallics. Metallics look so much better with a wash on them. Unfortunately, we don't have an Elder Scrolls Bat Rep to come out this week on the channel, which is a shame. A little bit behind on my schedule, but we're going to have some Elder Scrolls stuff coming out. I did a little bit of a wish list video for Elder Scrolls, which was fun. We've talked about some of the things I'd like to see. But yeah, no. Nothing like getting in the paint mood. Kids are still asleep, so nice I can keep going. I'll have lunch with them when they get up. So I don't have to leave. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, 40k will be probably the next game you'll see starting to appear on the channel, because obviously I've got my Emperor Spears, got enough of them done that we can play some games against this Necron force. So we've got about 1,000 points of Necrons here. I've got about 1,000 points of Emperor Spears Space Marines painted, which is cool. Oh, nice. New episode of Angels of Death. We'll have to get watching that. I've really been For all the hate Warhammer Plus got, I've been enjoying it. I found absolutely nothing wrong with it. Be really cool if like that bat rep goes up and that is indeed if they actually did record a bat rep with the WWE wrestler they had on there. That would make their bat reps really cool if they're getting like celeb bat reps. For those who don't know, Warhammer World is like posting that Shayna Baszler from WWE went over and hung out at Warhammer World, and they happened to post her in the battle report room. So, who knows? That could be pretty cool. Like, I would love to see them inviting celebrities on to play Warhammer. Would be great. Just that, even like larger YouTube channels, I think they could do like really well with like a lot of community. Really make their community quite happy with them if they brought on like larger YouTube channels. Obviously there's some that just won't go on out of premise, but imagine someone like a larger YouTube channel, like I don't know, like Henry Cavill, like, but I'm talking like even like the YouTube channels. So like imagine like them bringing on Tabletop Titans or something, Tabletop Tactics, or even like them getting mini wargaming over would be really cool to like see them show some recognition to those channels as much as like actual celebrities. Like Henry Cavill would be a great one to like get him to bring his custodes over. Shayna Baszler, hopefully she played Korn, or even like their partners. So imagine like I know some of the dudes play Warhammer that are like working for Cubicle 7. Or even like Creative Assembly employees could be a really cool one. Yeah, like someone like Uncle Adam or Ninjon or even like local game stores. Like there's plenty of friendly local game stores, or even their employees. Like, so I don't know, whoever the manager is at Games Workshop Manchester, get him on. To be fair, GW could give him that money. Like GW could go, oh, shout out to like Henry Cavill's charity thing that he's organizing, and that would be great. I would love it. I do have a game booked in against Wade whenever I can get over. I'd like to see more people on their battle reports. Like get their Black Library authors on there, or even the voice actors from like Angels of Death. Would be really cool. I think there's a lot you can do with like their battle reports. No, they could do a lot, and you got to remember, like these people do enjoy Warhammer as much as Cavill wants all this stuff. Like Cavill enjoys Warhammer. While I don't expect him to do it for free, I think it would be a great thing for GW to do is like get those sort of people on. I mean, pay Cavill some amount. Like getting him on a battle report, I can guarantee the amount of people that would sign up to Warhammer Plus to watch Henry Cavill play a game of Warhammer, like, would be huge. You would have so many people that are so anti against it suddenly sign up. But yeah, I think that's where GW's bat reps could go down on Warhammer Plus to really make them something stand out against the rest and something different, like the pool they can have in that. Like for someone like me though, or like even another wargaming channel, like I would go in there for free. Like, the thing that would do for me is amazing. Like, hey, this is one of our friends or whatever, you know. But yeah, like, there's no losing that for GW. Exactly. Well, I think Shayna Baszler already caused us like so much. The amount of friends I know that are like wrestling fans that go, "What's this Warhammer thing I keep hearing about Shayna having on her ring gear?" So for note, the wrestler that went on, her ring gear constantly has a like corn symbol on it. She's a massive like corn player, and she constantly has like the mark of corn all over her ring gear for wrestling for WWE. And like, there's been so many like people taking pictures, like or like screen capping and stuff like that. To be honest, I don't think the rules are as bad as people think. And they did just release apparently what has been a massively positively received FAQ for 40k. But I don't think the rules are as bad as the internet would have you believe for any of the games. Certainly there are issues, but they're no means like horrible. I mean, just think whatever, like, it sucks, like, because imagine like, this would have been a great thing to get the late Robin Williams on, because everyone knows how big a fan of Warhammer 40k that man was. Like, that would have been amazing to see. Like, the dude having a game on Warhammer TV would have been amazing. But I think this sort of limits, like, not having studio members play the games on it, right? Not having like a dedicated team and having like celebrities on and all of that actually removes that ability for GW to get their rules right on their battle reports. Oh, there's another car. I think it's next door though. Playing, yeah, that is true. But do you get what I mean? Like, if they're having people on from randoms that aren't GW employees, right? And suddenly not a GW employee getting the rule wrong. From what I've seen, the battle reports I've watched too, I can't remember too many rules getting played wrong on Warhammer Plus. They have an amazing amount of time for editing and stuff like that. They can literally just set the table back up and re-record if something went wrong. There should be, but yeah. And I can hear my little boy getting up. That would be a little Ori getting up right now. So that's going to have to be the end of the stream at this point. Sorry, everyone. Little man's awake, so I've got to go watch him. So thank you all for coming, hobbying, and hanging out. Don't forget to drop a like, everyone, as well. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you again real soon, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Hey, Ori. Ciao for now.